Welcome to this episode of In the Mix here on location in Southampton at Yoga Gives. I'm your host, Gina Jordan, and coming up on this very special episode of In the Mix on VVH TV. This famous couple is making headlines without even trying. Meet Mrs. Alec Baldwin, Hilaria Thomas.
This guy jumped up, we were at Babette's, and jumped out of a bush and started taking our picture.
I go one-on-one with the newlywed yoga guru and put her yoga class to the test. Can she take this ball of stress and get me to say namaste? Then we sit down to talk what it's really like to be married to a movie star, Baldwin babies, and the 411 on Cracker Face. And it's take two for the legendary talk show host, Larry King, who refuses to retire, hosting a brand new series. Plus, he captured an era of time. David Bowie, Iggy Pop, Queen. Rock photographer Mick Rock is still going strong with a new project on the way. You are in the moment. You are in the mix. In the Mix with Chris Rock.
I'm Alec Baldwin. I'm here with the gorgeous Gina.
I'm Larry King, and you're watching In the Mix.
I'm Kelly Ripa, and you're watching In the Mix.
I'm Matt Lauer, and you're watching In the Mix.
I'm Kathy Lee. And I'm Hoda. And you're watching In the Mix.
I'm Bethany Frankel, and you're watching In the Mix.
In the Mix.
Welcome back to this episode of In the Mix here on VVH TV. I'm Gina Jordan, and right now we're here in Southampton at Yoga Gives for this incredible charity event, all to benefit Child Mind Institute. Yoga teacher Hilaria Thomas Baldwin recently taught a Vinyasa Flow class and helped raise thousands of dollars to benefit the Child Mind Institute.
So the link between yoga and the Child Mind Institute is that in yoga we try to find a union between the body and the mind. So we try to find a connection point. And for those of you who have experience with children with different disabilities, you'll find that the child does not always link up the body and the mind. So the mind is doing something and then the body is not behaving. And when the body is not behaving, mom and dad, or mom and mom, or dad and dad, they start to get a little not so happy, not so namaste.
Thank you again for spending a Friday morning with us.
Dr. Harold Koplowitz is a child and adolescent psychiatrist and the co-founder of the Child Mind Institute in New York City on Park Avenue. CMR provides free services to families in need of child mental health care. Tell us what's going on here today at Yoga Gives in Southampton.
So we're very fortunate that Yoga Gives has decided to sponsor a remarkable yoga session. And what's really terrific about it is that all the proceeds of today's yoga session are going to support our financial aid program, which means that we have a policy where we don't turn anyone away. So if a family economically can't afford the treatment, whatever they can afford, we find a way to find other funds so that they can get the best treatment possible.
Let's say that I have a child, okay, they can be hyperactive. How does the Child Mind Institute help me in the process?
The most important thing a doctor or any clinician can do for a parent or for a child is give them a diagnosis. Because once you have a diagnosis, you can say, if you don't treat this, this is what we think what will happen. And if you treat, these are the different treatment options you have, and some of them are more successful than others. And sometimes you can say to a parent, guess what? There is no diagnosis. This is just normal childhood. If you go to our website, right now we have these wonderful articles on mindfulness, which really talks about the fact that getting kids to be and live in the moment actually can be very, very therapeutic.
Cool. Well, I'm actually going to go step into Hilaria's class and put a little challenge to myself. So here we go.
Thank you.
I'm about to take on the yoga challenge with none other than yoga guru, Mrs. Baldwin. That's right, Alec Baldwin's wife, Hilaria Thomas Baldwin, is about to teach me some yoga. And I'm sitting here in a class with people about to embarrass myself because I couldn't be more anxiety-filled, completely not flexible. So this is gonna be fun. Watch me make a fool of myself.
I know that some of you guys have never done yoga before, and that's totally fine. Trust me, I will deliver you back in one piece. I've never killed anyone yet. Yeah? Let's start. So come into downward facing dog, which is an upside down V shape. Exhale through the nose. Inhale through the nose. Inhale, glide forward, cobra pose, squeeze elbows, point the toes. Nice. Exhale, seat towards the heels. Look at the navel.
Downward dog, upward dog. Here's like, how about a really tight dog, okay?
Exhale out, stronger back leg. More, inhale it. Exhale out. Good. Now inhale, bend the back knee. Reach the right arm forward, the left arm back, facing the mirror side of the room. Good. Good. Drop it down. Very good. Exhale out. Good. Challenge your arms. Deep breath in. Hold strong from here. Last time. Deep breath in. Exhale, squat down 2. This is great for your groin. And then straighten up again. Exhale for 3. Squat down. You got it, girl. And now straighten up again. You have it. You have it. Exhale, squat down. And hands to the jump or step back. Chaturanga. Bend the elbows in. Inhale, upward facing. Very nice. Point toes, knees up.
Obviously, this helps the sex life. That's all I have to say. Alec, you're one lucky guy.
Then you can take your hands immediately to the back. Good. And then from here, you're going to take my legs all the way up to the ceiling. Okay, zip up the inner thighs. Good. Draw it into a collapse. Extend it straight. Very good. Draw it in. Extend it. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release. Punch through on the floor. Left on the floor.
I'm dying right now.
Lower the left. Add, lower both. This looks pretty good.
You want to try to bring this one over like you're sitting in David's style. Oh my God, it's never happened. You have this.
So for you and you, I want you to extend the bottom leg straight.
I'm going to try this.
And then you're going to cross the right ankle on top of the left. Last time you have it, inhale. Exhale. Inhale, a little louder. Right leg outside of the calf. Breath in very nice. Exhale out. Bring that down. Exhale out. 2 more minutes. Bend the back knee. Bear the shoulders off. Pull up on the belly. Exhale out. Inhale in.
Thanks to you.
Exhale out. You start to become much more efficient now as you're running. Good.
This could be more challenging. I am the worst person in the class. Hands down.
Here, go back. And notice how the below there is slowing down. Head on the floor. You can always just grab the backs of the legs and pull yourself in. It's not happening.
Not happening.
You think you're so special that you're the most difficult student I've ever had. I promise you, I told you. That's not possible.
I am so tight that it doesn't get me
Well, that's
tighter.
why you need yoga.
Yeah, I know.
That's why you need yoga.
It's true. I
At least she still looks good.
This is my favorite part. We're going to find out why Hilaria is inspiring, so don't move. Coming up, we get to know Mrs. Baldwin.
If you guys are at home and you're thinking about improving your sex life, becoming flexible definitely helps.
And find out how she's turned her life passion into a way to help others.
In the mix.
In the Mix is presented by GoPro, Agave, and 75 Main in Southampton.
In the mix.
Welcome back to In the Mix on VVH TV. We are here at Yoga Gives for a very special charity, and I am sitting here next to Mrs. Baldwin, Hilaria Thomas Baldwin. Everybody, come on, a little. We've got, so right now we're on the go here. We're on location. We left the studio to come and visit you here today because as soon as I heard Mrs. Baldwin and an incredible charity like CMI, Children Mind Institute, I thought we need to be here. So I would love to understand, first of all, hi. Okay, I just took your class, which I was sweating. And I've done here and there, dabbled in yoga, but I was pathetic. Let's just say it like it is.
You are not pathetic. She gives herself too much credit
No.
to call herself pathetic.
Trust me.
Everybody always comes in and says, I'm going to be the worst person, I'm going to be the tightest person, and trust me, I've taught thousands and thousands and thousands of people. There's no way that you can be the worst person.
Let's talk about what your personal connection is to this event here today. So we're in Southampton, Yoga Gives. You are a yoga professional. You have your own yoga studio, right?
I opened up 2 yoga studios in Manhattan, and I just started a program at Soul Cycle where I'm teaching yoga there, soul yoga.
I think it's refreshing to meet someone like you who's here today and trying to give back. How did you get involved with this event today?
They contacted me. Yoga Gives, which is the studio that we're at, contacted me, and they brought in CMI, and I just thought, well, absolutely, how can I give up an opportunity to promote a cause that is so incredible and touches so many people? And I had a chance to talk with the doctor, and his vision and his patience, and he says he doesn't do yoga, but his mindset is a total yogi mindset.
He does. I thought for sure he was a yogi, for sure.
Yeah.
A yogi. Like, I even know what that means.
So what we did today when we brought the yoga and the awareness of these different disabilities is that we just to bring a little bit of body awareness. And when you have a little bit of body awareness, you are capable of making choices. When you're very stressed out, you don't have the ability to make choices because your head is somewhere different.
All of us were in the studio yesterday and we're trying to all pronounce your name. It's not Hilaria, it's not Hilaria.
It's not even Hilaria, there is no H.
There's no H.
So pretend there's no H. It's
Okay.
Hilaria. It's like hola.
Yeah.
In Spanish, you say hola. It's H-O-L-A. Nobody says hola, unless you have a really bad accent. But so it's Hilaria.
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 Your husband is Alec Baldwin. You just recently got married, which is very exciting. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Aside from being Alec Baldwin's wife, you have your own thing going on.
Well,
To the point where he wants you to pay the bills. Like, he's going to stop acting and you're going to support him,
that was
right?
a joke, and people took it very seriously. That's something that I'm hearing a lot. People meet me, and they're like, "You're so down to earth. You work, you have your own thing," and I just think, I'm like, what do they expect? Like, what do they expect me to be? I worked before. I supported myself before. I mean, obviously, when you create a union, there's a different dynamic that goes on. But I don't know if all of a sudden I'm supposed to become a big snub that just spends all day doing her nails or getting facials. I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing.
I don't think that would be you, but it happens. So your background is interesting. You were a dancer.
I was a dancer from 2 years old, and I started teaching yoga when I was 21.
What kind of dance, by
I
the way?
did Latin ballroom, you know, the Dancing with the Stars stuff.
She had a stress fracture, and you could have sat around and had bonbons and felt sorry for yourself.
It was a very, very bad break. But actually, I was planning on opening Yoga Vida already, and we were opening in 3 weeks. And 3 weeks before is when I broke my hip. So can you imagine that I was basically, we had a couple of instructors that taught a couple of classes, but I was teaching almost all of the classes at this brand new, big, beautiful studio in Greenwich Village. And the one instructor is in a wheelchair.
So you were the founder.
I founded it with one of my students, Michael Patton, who worked at Bear Stearns. And obviously he no longer worked for Bear Stearns once the crisis came. And he just started doing a lot of yoga, and he texted me one summer and he said, "Do you want to open," this was summer 2009, "do you want to open up a yoga studio together?" And I said, "Absolutely." And we just, we sat down and at little cafes and on napkins, made everything from the business plan to the price points to branding to logo to the name, everything.
So basically people can find you in New York City and take your classes.
It's going to be Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. When I
Thursday.
met Alec, I was teaching 7 days a week.
Okay, so let's talk about-
He has taught me to chill out a little bit.
To chill out a little bit? Wow,
Yeah.
that's funny that Alex teaching you to chill out a little
You
bit.
know what? Everybody always gives me the credit for the change that he has made, and obviously we have influenced each other, but he has given me just as much.
You recently got married about a month ago, right?
I think somebody told me yesterday it's been 2 months.
You met at a restaurant in New York City. You ended up keeping in touch with him. You ended up being, it was sort of like a fairy tale story in a way where a few minutes before you met him, you said, "I'm looking to fall in love."
I said, "Universe, I have an announcement to make. I'm ready to meet someone and fall in love." And my girlfriend smacked me. She's like, "Hilaria, shut up. Alec Baldwin is looking at you." And I was like,
That's
okay.
crazy. That's crazy.
But I didn't think anything at the time. I mean, I felt something,
Right.
but I mean, I wasn't looking for.
Right.
I mean, I've married the love of my life, but I wasn't looking to marry somebody who is of such a different age than me. In the acting business, it was not something I was interested in. But I was in a phase where I was just trying everything, which I recommend.
You're very
try everything.
You were open-minded. But all summer you've been hanging out, you're a newlywed, and hanging out in Amagansett, which is lovely. The energy out there is very different, even than Southampton. So it's amazing you can release a little bit.
Yeah,
right?
no, great. Not a lot of paparazzi.
You've been experiencing really like people are popping out of bushes and that whole thing?
Here, actually, a couple of times, and it was the first time I saw somebody actually pop out of a bush. I was like, I thought that people only say that, but this guy jumped up,
really
wear
jumped up.
babettes, and like jumped out of a bush and started taking our picture. And of course, I'm like this.
Right.
With my mouth, and I'm eating something, and I'm like, okay, great, you got a great picture of me, but it doesn't matter.
So how are you handling that? I mean, seriously.
At the beginning, I mean, around the engagement, around different incidents that have happened, it's been really insane. I mean, our wedding was just, forget about it. I never thought that I would have to get married with bodyguards and closing off streets and stuff like that, but I did. And it didn't take anything away from the wedding. It made it a little interesting, but it didn't take anything away from it.
Well, there was an issue that people couldn't take photos also at the wedding.
You can't take
too,
photos
right?
at the wedding, yeah, because we...
that must have been hard to tell some of your personal
Grandma,
friends.
yes.
Right.
Grandma, yes. But we have beautiful photos of and we had like 5,000 photos taken. So now everybody is happy.
Was it challenging for you to change your life like that? To have to go, you know?
It just came little by little. I mean, it was very strange. It's very strange for me to think that people are interested in me. I'm like, okay, I just teach yoga and I do my thing, and then people are, it's strange that is an interest. When I got engaged, people are chasing me around to get a picture of my ring, and I was like, why are you chasing me? And I flipped my ring this way and kept it like this for 2 weeks. And they say, I mean, some of these photographers are not nice.
No.
They are not very nice. They hit me and they bruised me up and down my arm. I mean, it was just like, they're really, and that, there were times when the tears were flowing, and I would get into my apartment and I would just start crying. My doorman were like, I always had a box of tissues for me.
It's a lot to handle.
But,
it's a big transition.
yeah,
for
it's a big
you,
transition.
right?
But now it's, you know,
You're getting used to it.
walk.
I remember Alec and the shape he was in. I mean, I used to remember seeing him during the summer seasons.
Even now, since Ken, he's different.
Gained a little bit of weight.
No,
he lost. Okay, now he lost.
We're losing.
How did you get him on the whole health kick?
I noticed how he was feeling and his energy level, and I was very worried because this is what I do for a living. And he said he called his doctor, he was feeling very tired, and his doctor did some tests and said, you're pre-diabetic. It was something where he was afraid and he wanted to make the change. And he is, I mean, I think he's very, very handsome, obviously, but he's very lucky with his genes that his body changes very fast. So if he eats well, it changes very quickly. And so it just ended up being, now when you feel good, why do you want to go back and eat the other way?
Is he on top of the yoga and staying with it?
He does yoga with his friends in the summer, and then he's been taking my class on the weekends out at Soul Cycle.
Do you favor him in class?
No. No, he's not. He cannot be a teacher's pet.
Explain what cracker face is briefly. Because
cracker face is when he's doing something wrong. When he's eating a cracker, he says that I give him a hard time no matter what. But it's never just one.
So the cracker face. Give us what you think the cracker face is. What is the cracker face? I love the way he does it. He's such a.
I mean, he's an actor, and I'm not an actress.
One of the things that Alex said he's thankful for is cracker face. But why is that? Because you saved him.
I keep him present, you know. I mean, when we both keep each other present, so I don't want this to be I'm taking all the credit for everything. But when he is going to something where he is not paying attention, then a reminder. Same thing with me, and I'm sure that in any relationship you have that. When I'm doing something and I'm overworking, and he's like, you know what, Hilaria, you need to calm down. And then, I mean, so he has his own cracker face. It's not quite so.
You brought cracker face to Alec. What has Alec brought to your life?
He gives me a lot of perspective. He gives me a lot of perspective, and I'm very lucky for that. He gave me a sense of stability, and I don't mean that the way that people are probably going to take that in terms of, you know, I don't have to work as much as I was working before. But security that you're loved, and he loves me unconditionally, and he respects me.
Oh my God, the way you talk about each other is amazing.
Yeah,
I have to say, it seems like he has even a closer relationship with his daughter. I feel like since maybe you've been in his life.
I think that Ireland and Alec have a very special relationship, and they've had that ever since I've met him. And they talk nonstop all day. They text nonstop. They Twitter nonstop. I love Ireland, and I feel like we have a very special bond as well. And the fact that I think a lot of people are seeing it because we've been more in the news recently because of the wedding and everything. So I think people are saying, oh, great, now they're one big happy family. But they were always wonderful. They were always wonderful. And every once in a while, kids and parents are going to knock heads. But I mean,
well, everybody wants to make drama, right? So it sounds better when they're not wonderful. It makes for a better story.
But they're really I mean, I think anybody would be so lucky to have the kind of dad that Ireland has, or
well,
the kind of child that Alec has.
Your children may have the dad that Ireland has. You never know. God willing.
So.
God willing.
I hope so. They have the same dad. That would be a little awkward otherwise.
That's like the next question everybody's going to start asking you. So I'm not going to ask you when are you going to have kids. I would never ask you that. When are you going to have kids? No, I'm kidding. She just got married. Like
I just got
2 weeks
give
ago.
us a little time.
A little
please.
bit of time.
People are like, are you pregnant? And I'm like, oh, God.
No, yoga in general. We were joking around, but one of the things we looked up is that it actually helps your sex life. Is that true or no? Because you
I've
can't
never
go into these
experienced
crazy
it
positions.
Everybody's
laughing. Everybody's laughing. Everybody's turning red. Even the doctor's laughing. But come on, that's an important part of a relationship. It's very important.
It's an important part of the relationship. I mean, if you guys are at home and you're thinking about improving your sex life, becoming flexible definitely helps.
Okay, now, Alec, we all know there's rumors that he could run for mayor, or he's going to retire soon. You're going to support him for the rest of his life. We're going to laugh at that. All these rumors that go around.
You have to go back to teaching 5:30 in the morning until 10:30.
You'll be just like never be around your children. You'll pop them out and give them to Alec to raise. No, but seriously, I mean, he could, you never know. He's such a well-spoken, I mean, he's someone that can hold people's attention for hours and hours and hours as he does. Would you go down that road? That'd be something you'd be interested in?
I mean, I don't see it in our very near future, but I think, like he tells me to follow my ambition, I think he should follow his ambition. And there's a lot of changes that are coming up right now with him and his career, and he can sort of figure out what is going to be the best thing for him, where he feels the most stable. And maybe that's politics, maybe it's not.
30 Rock is ending. This is going to be the
ending,
last season, so it's not that he's the only one leaving, because the entire show is ending, which I know a lot of people are going to be unhappy about. But did you watch the show? Did you even?
I've seen it more filmed than anything, so I'll go and visit him on set. But I haven't. No, I've seen a couple of episodes. And it's really, really funny. And it's not because I don't like it, it's just because I don't stay awake when I watch TV.
And you didn't have a TV,
I never
apparently.
had a TV.
Which is probably why Alec likes you, because you didn't know anything about the show.
But I did see Working Girl.
Uh-huh.
I did see Working. I wasn't allowed to watch the part where he's like in bed with his girlfriend or the girl that he's sleeping with. And so I would be like, my mother would be like, close your eyes, and I'd be like this.
That was funny. That's hysterical. Guys, don't go anywhere because we have more to come. But everybody give a little round of applause for Hilaria. She was amazing. Thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Nice to meet you. Thank you for teaching us today how to remain calm.
My pleasure.
Don't
My
move.
pleasure.
Coming up, find out Larry King, Betty White, and many other celebrities' secret to an everlasting career in Hollywood. And we meet up with legendary rock photographer Mick Rock at the All Saints store in Soho during Fashion's Night Out.
In the mix.
In the Mix is presented by East End Limousine, the Clam Man Seafood Market caterers in Southampton, and South Shore Signs and Graphics.
In the mix.
Now In the Mix is on the go, jumping away from Mind, Body, and Soul in Southampton and landing in New York City at Fashion's Night Out, which officially kicked off the Mercedes-Benz Fashion Week. In the Mix is in Soho at the All Saints Boutique to celebrate the launch of their new Fall/Winter 2012 global campaign. Legendary rock photographer Mick Rock kept the crowd moving as he played celebrity DJ for the night.
Show me some teeth, yeah!
Mick Rock, a.k.a. the man who shot the 70s, is a living legend who is best known for capturing some of the most iconic rock and roll photographs in the 70s, including the Rolling Stones, David Bowie.
The magic of that Ziggy Stardust thing, the magic of conjuring all this out of very little. I mean, this stuff was put together with glue. There wasn't much money around.
Mick Rock is one of the only photographers that captured Iggy Pop's notorious moves.
He had that ambiguity which perfectly placed him in the context of the glam summer of '72.
Blondie's Debbie Harry and Pink Floyd's Syd Barrett are some other iconic rock stars that Mick memorialized. Mick Rock is the visionary behind one of the most famous album covers, Queen 2.
They were not well known when the album came out. It was the single from that album, Seven Seas of Rye, that actually was a top 10 single. That was when they started to make the impact. So I was the first real photographer they worked with.
During the 70s, Mick lived the life of a rock star and admitted he enjoyed experimenting with drugs, which helped him visualize some of his most iconic work.
Pick up a camera on some acid and was plonking about, you know, following what he felt like doing, not making much money, and somehow stumbling onto this stuff and bringing out these gems.
In 1996, Mick suffered a major health scare in his late 40s. During a photo session, he had a heart attack. Mick pushed through the shoot and days later survived quadruple bypass surgery. The near-death experience forced Mick to change his lifestyle. Today, Mick is a devoted family man with a wife and daughter who proves he is still one of the most sought-after photographers. Even without the drugs, Mick continues to capture some of today's biggest artists from all genres of music. The Killers, Def Leppard, David Grohl, Snoop Lion, Bono, and Lady Gaga. Over the years, Mick Rock has created several photo books, and his latest project is a collaboration with Lou Reed called Transformer, coming out later this year. From a living legendary rock photographer to other living legends in Hollywood who share their secrets to an everlasting career in showbiz. Here we are in the Sheraton, New York City on 53rd Street and 6th Avenue, and we've got some of the biggest names in the entertainment business right here about to roast Betty White.
I am absolutely panic-stricken, but I'll get through it somehow. I don't know.
What is the secret to eternal life career? Because you have it.
I don't. You just be so grateful for the fact that you're lucky enough at 90 years old to still be in the business that you love better than anything and still be working at it. I'm thrilled.
I need some tips on how to be a better journalist.
First thing you do is, hi, I'm Gina. On the red carpet, I want to be honest with you. Point the camera down. This carpet is not red.
That was very well done.
You've done two things there. You brought your own honesty out and focused on a lie. But this is show business.
According to Betty, Larry, and these famous faces, the secret to an everlasting career is having a passion for what you do. Now, what do you like better, being behind a project like that or being in front?
A little of all of the above, because if you can diversify, you have more of a chance. And I like telling stories from either side.
The talk show is the most exciting project by far. I'm really excited. I'm really ready. This is what I'm supposed to be doing. I cannot wait. I cannot wait to get started.
Okay, you have a new novel, a fictitious novel out as well.
I have a novel called Skinny Dipping out right now. It's kind of raising eyebrows a little bit because people are trying to figure out what means what, who means who, if that's even the case. So I'm kind of excited.
When do you guys actually rest? For 2 minutes, do you close your eyes at night?
Well, I don't at all because I'm postmenopausal, but Hoda sleeps like a baby.
No, I can conk out right now.
She can. I'm so jealous of that. That and her beautiful feet. I'm very jealous of those two things.
Dynamic between the two of you, I've seen it evolve and grow, and it's incredible. I mean, you've gotten much more comfortable.
Because
she would say,
you know that she likes to make love with fat men? These are the kinds of things you understand.
No, because they make you feel thin and sexy.
Uggy, what was it like to be in The Artist? And what's it like to be the cutest person on the red carpet? After a 25-year run hosting Larry King Live, the legendary talk show host has such a passion for interviewing people that he decided to come back for more. In his new show, Larry King Now on Aura TV.
I'll be interviewing people every day, and it'll be wonderful to be back because I love communicating. I love asking questions. You get the chance to do it again, and there is a second act.
The second act. I like that. Being the kind of person that's able to connect with people, is this something that you think you're just always going to want to do in your life? You're never going to retire?
I can't see how I could ever really leave because I'm a why person. So even in retirement, I do a daily show with people I meet, even though there's no camera.
What is it? So what was it? You were home, you were with the kids, and you thought to yourself, I have to get back.
When it really knocked me over was when bin Laden was killed. I wanted to work so bad that night. And now we got an election. I want to work. I want to be the action. I like the action.
Still like the action. He still is the action.
Dies. You know why? There's a surprise every day. I wake up in the morning, what the hell is going to happen today?
I survived the yoga challenge today. It was a lot of fun. I'm definitely going to go try and take Hilaria's class in New York City at Yoga Vida. I want to give a special thanks to Child Mind Institute, Dr. K, and of course, Hilaria Thomas Baldwin. Thank you guys for watching through this long. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Get out there, do some yoga, go de-stress, and I look forward to seeing you in the mix. Don't miss In the Mix in New York City, live from Astor Place, premiering this fall, Saturday, October 6th.
In the mix.